How to fix PS4 DualShock 4 controller not detected in Sifu Epic games using DS4Windows. Welcome back to Teknobalta, your premier source for in-depth technical guides and solutions. Today, we're tackling a common frustration for many gamers: getting your PS4 DualShock 4 controller to work seamlessly with Sifu, particularly when purchased through the Epic Games Store. The Epic Games Launcher, while a robust platform, sometimes presents compatibility challenges with non-native input devices, leading to your DualShock 4 remaining undetected in titles like Sifu. This guide will provide a comprehensive, step-by-step solution utilizing DS4Windows, a powerful open-source tool that emulates an Xbox 360 controller, ensuring your PS4 Gamepad is recognized and fully functional. We'll navigate through installation, critical configuration adjustments, and essential troubleshooting to get you back into the intense martial arts action of Sifu with your preferred controller. Verify PS4 controller physical connection. Begin by ensuring your DualShock 4 controller is correctly connected to your PC. If using a USB cable, try multiple ports to rule out a faulty connection, ensuring it's firmly seated. For Bluetooth connections, confirm the controller is paired correctly via Windows Bluetooth settings, often indicated by a solid light bar. Left side crash. A dark, frustrated image of a gamer staring at a PC with an overlaid Windows error dialog stating, "Controller not found. Error 0x8007048F. The requested device is not connected or powered on." Right side fixed. A vibrant, close-up shot of a DualShock 4 controller glowing green, perfectly responsive on a PC desktop, ready for gaming. Update Windows and device drivers. Outdated operating system components or controller drivers can cause detection failures. Ensure your Windows installation is fully updated via Windows Update, and manually check for the latest drivers for your Bluetooth adapter or USB controllers through Device Manager. Left side crash. A dark screen depicting a Windows Update failure notification with a grimacing character in the foreground and an error code, update error 0x80070005. Right side fixed. A bright, clean Windows desktop displaying all updates are current, with a relieved character smiling at the screen. Disable competing controller software. Other controller remapping or input software, such as Steam Input, if Steam is running in the background, or alternative DS4 emulators, can conflict with DS4Windows. Close all such applications before proceeding to prevent input conflicts and ensure exclusive control for DS4Windows. Left side crash. A cluttered taskbar showing multiple conflicting controller icons with a frustrated character pointing at a Steam-themed pop-up error. Input conflict detected. Multiple controller mappings active. Right side fixed. A minimalist taskbar with only essential icons and a serene character enjoying smooth, uninterrupted gameplay. Download DS4Windows from the official source. To ensure stability and security, always download DS4Windows from its official website, ds4windows.com. Beware of unofficial versions, which may contain malware or outdated components that can exacerbate compatibility issues. Left side crash. A dark web browser displaying a 404 not found error on a suspicious-looking download page with a worried character. Right side fixed. A bright browser window confidently displaying DS4Windows.com with the latest version highlighted for download, a satisfied character confirming the link. Extract and launch DS4Windows. Once downloaded, extract the DS4Windows zip file to a dedicated folder, ideally outside system folders like program files, to avoid permission issues. Locate and run the DS4Windows exe executable to begin the setup process. Left side crash. A file explorer window showing a corrupted or incomplete zip extraction with a Windows error, extraction failed. File system error 1026. A frustrated character, gestures at the screen. Right side, fixed. A cleanly extracted DS4 Windows folder on the desktop with the DS4 Windows exe highlighted and a focused character preparing to launch it. Install necessary DS4 Windows drivers. Upon first launch, DS4 Windows will prompt you to install essential drivers, including ViGEmBus. Follow the on-screen instructions meticulously, ensuring all required drivers are successfully installed for proper controller emulation. These drivers are crucial for the Xbox 360 controller emulation. Left side, crash. A DS4 Windows setup screen showing driver installation failed, accompanied by a critical system error pop-up. ViGEmBus driver not installed, error code 0x00000BC. A confused character looks at the error. Right side, fixed. The DS4 Windows setup wizard displaying drivers installed successfully, with a triumphant character nodding in approval. Launch DS4 Windows application. After driver installation, close and then relaunch DS4 Windows. The application should now open to its main interface, ready for controller configuration. Ensure it's running in the foreground or minimized to the system tray, but not fully closed. Left side, crash. A grayed-out DS4 Windows icon on the taskbar with a tooltip application not responding. A frustrated character tapping their desk. Right side, fixed. A fully loaded DS4 Windows interface showing the controller's tab, active and responsive, with a focused character ready to configure. Verify controller detection in DS4 Windows. Navigate to the controller's tab within DS4 Windows. Your DualShock 4 should be listed here, confirming that DS4 Windows has successfully detected it. If it displays no controllers connected, double-check your physical connection and restart DS4 Windows. Left side, crash. The DS4 Windows interface prominently displaying no controllers connected in the main window, with a sad character looking at the screen, an in-game error pop-up, Sifu themed saying, controller unresponsive. Image 8 JPG. Right side, fixed. The DS4 Windows interface clearly showing controller 1, DualShock 4 with active input feedback, a happy character observing the green light bar on their controller. Initiate controller emulation, DS4 Windows Start button. Examine the bottom right corner of the DS4 Windows interface. If it shows a Start button, click it to activate the controller emulation. This action initiates the process of mapping your DualShock 4 inputs to an emulated Xbox 360 controller, which Sifu is more likely to recognize. Left side, crash. A screenshot of the DS4 Windows window with the Start button visibly present but not clicked, indicating no emulation is active. A perplexed character wonders why the controller isn't working. Right side, fixed. The DS4 Windows window with the Stop button visible indicating emulation is running, and the controller's icon showing active input. A satisfied character is actively using the controller. Create or select a controller profile. Head to the Profiles tab in DS4 Windows. You can either create a new profile specifically for Sifu or modify an existing one. Profiles allow you to customize button mappings, sensitivity, and most importantly, the type of controller DS4 Windows should emulate. Left side, crash. The DS4 Windows Profiles tab showing an empty list or a default profile with incorrect settings. A frustrated character unsure how to proceed. Right side, fixed. The DS4 Windows Profiles tab with a new, clearly labeled profile selected, ready for advanced configuration, and a determined character. Configure output emulation to Xbox 360. Within your selected profile, navigate to the Other tab or section. Locate the Controller or Emulated Controller dropdown and explicitly select Xbox 360. This instructs DS4 Windows to present your DualShock 4 as a standard Xbox 360 controller to the operating system, which Sifu and many other Epic Games titles readily support. Left side crash. A profile settings window in DS4 Windows with DualShock 4 or generic controller selected as the output with an error message. Sifu does not detect this controller type. Right side fixed. The DS4 Windows profile settings showing Xbox 360 prominently selected as the emulated controller, with a cheerful character making the correct choice. Apply and save profile changes. After selecting Xbox 360 as the emulation type, it is critical to click Apply to stage the changes and then Save to permanently store them within your chosen profile. Failure to save will revert your settings, and the controller will not be correctly emulated upon restarting DS4 Windows. Left side crash. A DS4 Windows profile editing screen where the Apply and Save buttons are either ignored or unclicked. A profile changes not saved dialog appearing and a puzzled character. Right side fixed. The DS4 Windows profile editing screen with both Apply and Save buttons clicked, confirming the settings, and a satisfied character finalizing the setup. Keep DS4 Windows running before launching Sifu. For successful controller detection, DS4 Windows must be active and running in the background before you launch Sifu. If you close DS4 Windows, the emulation will cease, and the game will lose controller input. Minimize DS4 Windows to your system tray to keep it active. Left side crash. The DS4 Windows application accidentally closed or not yet launched, with the Sifu game showing a prominent in-game error. No controller detected. Please connect a compatible gamepad. Right side fixed. The Sifu main menu with the controller navigation icons visible and the DS4 Windows icon active in the system tray. A heroic character diving into the game. Launch Sifu via Epic Games Launcher. With DS4 Windows actively emulating an Xbox 360 controller, proceed to launch Sifu directly from your Epic Games library. Avoid launching it through Steam as a non-Steam game, as Steam input can introduce further conflicts unless specifically configured to pass through raw input. Left side crash. A screenshot of the Epic Games Launcher with Sifu visible but showing a controller disconnected icon. A frustrated character looks at the launcher. Right side fixed. The Epic Games Launcher proudly displaying Sifu with a play button, indicating readiness with a smiling character clicking it. Test in-game controller recognition. Once Sifu has loaded, immediately test your controller. Navigate menus, access control settings, or start a new game to verify that the DualShock 4, now masquerading as an Xbox 360 controller, is fully recognized and responsive within the game environment. Left side crash. The Sifu main menu displaying press enter to start, or only keyboard prompts. A character pressing controller buttons frantically with no response. Right side fixed. The Sifu main menu showing press X to start. Xbox a button equivalent, with the character confidently navigating using the DualShock 4. Address potential in-game conflicts. If issues persist, delve into Sifu's in-game control settings. Look for any options related to input devices or controller types. Sometimes, games offer a choice between XInput and DirectInput. Ensure settings favor XInput if available, as this aligns with Xbox 360 emulation. Left side crash. The Sifu in-game settings menu showing a controller type, unknown message, or specific direct input options selected with a baffled character. Right side fixed. The Sifu in-game settings menu confirming controller type, Gamepad XInput, with green checkmarks, a focused character adjusting preferences. Restart game and DS4 Windows. As a fundamental troubleshooting step, if the controller isn't detected, close both Sifu and DS4 Windows. Then restart DS4 Windows first, ensuring it's running and emulating before relaunching Sifu. This often resolves transient communication errors. Left side crash. A dark screen with a game crash error from Sifu and the DS4Windows window showing errors, with a character pulling their hair out. Right side fixed. A clean sequence of DS4Windows restarting, then Sifu launching smoothly, with a calm character following the procedure. Check for Bluetooth interference. For wireless DualShock 4 users, Bluetooth interference can disrupt connectivity. Ensure no other high-bandwidth Bluetooth devices are actively connected or in close proximity, and consider trying a different Bluetooth adapter or a direct USB connection to diagnose. Left side crash. A visual representation of chaotic radio waves interfering with a Bluetooth icon, with a Windows error, Bluetooth device unstable, connection lost. A character looks annoyed. Right side fixed. A clear, strong Bluetooth signal icon, with the DualShock 4 connected perfectly, and a character enjoying a lag-free wireless experience. Reinstall DS4Windows and drivers cleanly. If all previous steps fail, a clean reinstallation of DS4Windows and its drivers may be necessary. Uninstall DS4Windows and its associated ViGEmBus driver from Device Manager. Then delete the DS4Windows folder and repeat the installation process from step 4. Left side crash. The Windows Device Manager showing corrupted or missing controller drivers with a Windows error driver conflict. Multiple controller drivers detected code 39. A distressed character examines the screen. Right side fixed. The Windows Device Manager displaying healthy, properly installed DS4Windows drivers, with a professional character confirming system integrity. Run DS4Windows as administrator. In certain Windows configurations, DS4Windows might require elevated privileges to properly interact with controller drivers and system processes. Try right-clicking the DS4Windows exe and selecting Run as Administrator to see if this resolves any persistent detection issues. Left side crash. A Windows UAC prompt for DS4Windows showing Publisher Unknown with a warning, and the application failing to launch fully. A frustrated character struggles with permissions. Right side fixed. A successful Run as Administrator prompt for DS4Windows, with the application launching flawlessly and a confident character taking control. By meticulously following these steps, you should successfully resolve the PS4 DualShock 4 controller not detected issue in Sifu Epic Games using DS4Windows. This comprehensive approach addresses common pitfalls from driver conflicts to incorrect emulation settings, ensuring a smooth and responsive gaming experience. Remember, proper configuration of DS4Windows is key to bridging the compatibility gap between PlayStation controllers and PC games that primarily expect XInput. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more in-depth technical guides and troubleshooting solutions to enhance your gaming and tech experience.